Hello, everyone. This is Cynthia Heald Dudgeon in the heart space, the universal heart space, inviting you all to come on in to the heart space. Today, we are speaking about your guide, your individual guide on the journey to pure love. Now, you have lots of guides. We're fully aware of this. And you may sense that you have lots of guides. And is there one that you already know and have around you and do meditations with and work with? And is that being a being of pure, unconditional love who can really take you all the way to the point you're developing your subtle sensing very strongly, that you are feeling your heart space expanding and deepening when working with this individuality who is your guide? Because each of us has a guide that is coming to help us right now in this dramatic time of change on Earth. This is what Michael and I have been shown. And I'm going to talk to you about that and describe what happened because it's rather exciting for all of us. But if you already have that guide, that's great. Come join us. Come join us in the heart space for all of these meditations. We're going to be doing this in two parts today. First, we're going to be talking about meeting this individual guide. And then we're going to do a meditation to connect further with your guide in the heart space. And that video will be only a meditation, so you can go with your friend over and over and over to that meditation that is specifically for those of us connecting to our individual guides. This is something that was initiated by the Archangel Michael with our star friends, the angelic realms, many beings, in order to help us in a way that they felt would be the most accepting and something we could accept and we could advance the fastest by having one friend come close to our heart that we trusted to open to pure love. And that is available to you. And do you know that friend? And would you like to meet that friend? You don't have to. You don't have to do this. You can do this in a different way. But this is how we have been guided in order to assist this in happening more rapidly in this dramatic time of change and moving quickly into multidimensionality and moving into the fifth dimension. So here we go. When Michael came, I was going inside what's called the how of the she. Now, this is really a tangent that I'm not going to get into for very long, but it's on our website called She Connection, and it's SIDHE Connection. SIDHE Connection. There should be a link. And it tells a story of Michael and I and how we met. And I thought at first I was connecting with the she, which I was. And the she guided me for nearly 5 years. A group of the she guided Michael and me. And the reason why the she are there, and this is called the star she connection, is because our star friends knew that their very high frequency, their very high multidimensional frequency that is operating between fifth dimensional and 12 dimensional frequencies, it would be very difficult for us to even sense them, or we would certainly think it was our imagination. And the she being connected with Gaian realms and being able to communicate synchronicities, at least for us, like birds flying right past us, rainbows after something amazing happens, beautiful sunbeams coming in, a feather on our path, all of these different ways, the wind blowing across our face when there's not even a breeze. They knew they could work with the she, and the she were willing to do this for us, and they still are. They would help you communicate with your friend as well. And you can learn about that on our website. If you want more information about meeting your individual, there are almost 400 portal pages to different beings on that website, and most of them already are working with their partner. This is our community. They're already working with their human partner. The third wave you see, they're all healers and they are all happy to work with you and help your subtle perception in different ways. And you can always invite one of them. But your own friend, you will need to tune into yourself. We're not doing the portal pages anymore because there is not a need to do that. There is so much help now to help us open up more rapidly, especially in 2026, 2027, and onward. So what happened is that after Michael and I realized that there really was this being following me, and he said, "I am here with you." And he came to me very strongly on October 10th, 2020, as I was recovering from COVID, through the neck of my harp. I was playing my harp. This was a really good way for him to reach me. I was so relaxed and harp music, and he came right through the neck of the harp, the top of the harp, right into my heart. And it was so much love. I couldn't believe it. And it was like all of these different scenarios were going through my whole being that I couldn't even keep up with about all the possibilities for us. And from then on, we began to commune with one another and increase our ability to work together. And we started by writing music together, and that way we learned the best way to communicate with one another. And we'll be talking about that more in future videos, all the different ways that you can communicate, especially early on. But Michael began to show me in 2021 that it was possible that many more she were going to be arriving. And at this point, I still thought that he was a she. And we were attending a class on meeting the she with Jeremy Berg, co-creation with the she. If you want to know more about the she, that's on our website too, under resources. And you can look at David Spangler books on conversations with the she and engaging with the she, because it also helps you communicate with your guide, your friend, and your star friend. So after we were in this co-creation class, towards the end, Michael was saying, many are interested in working with human beings. Many of the she or many are coming. They're going to come work with us. And I said, oh, well, that's nice, because I had no idea what that meant. And I thought that was great because he's very joyful about it. And then through the summer of 2021, he was having to leave for a while and prepare for whatever it was that was going to happen. And then on the eve of Michaelmas, interestingly, the eve of the celebration of the Archangel Michael or Michael, on just after 6 p.m. on the 28th of September, 2021, all these beings began to arrive. And these were all star beings, who at first we thought were the she, but it was the she helping us communicate with them. I didn't learn this till quite a long way down the line later. But over the coming weeks and couple months, 101 beings came through this portal through this portal to be with us here in this density, this third dimension density, although it was already beginning to change and open up, but it was a portal and they had to get through as fast as they could until this portal closed because there was so much energy allotted for all of them to come to us. And that is why we ended up making the first website, our temporary website, in order to meet them. Now, what happened is that I blended in my heart. I trusted Michael enough to blend with all of these beings who came. And as I felt them come close to my heart, I would do the same as with Michael. I would just like, oh my goodness, you're so loving. I can't believe it. And this way I would get acquainted with them and then we'd write a portal, a page about them because there were so many of them. And our understanding was that these beings were coming because there was a person they were attached to that over the next 2 or 3 years we would meet, or they were some people that we already knew that we could talk to about them because they came to be with them and help them to open their subtle perception and connect fully with the source of being or their own higher self. And so this initiative had begun right then that we're here to support a human being in this time of dramatic change on Earth. And then they just kept coming, and other people would come and talk to us until it was hundreds of star beings. And every one of them I would blend with and get introduced to and create a portal page, and they would give a message to this person more um, personally to them. And so I got very acquainted with them and the fact that they had different energy signatures, different energy signatures. And the majority had one that was they come into your heart and they were this huge heart of love. And some of them, oh, like Leo and Gabriel and Edwin and Bjorn and Thomas, they had huge and Cameron, they had these huge shining hearts. And then some of them had very soft hearts like Zephyros and Lennon and Pazel and Paz. They all got the peace names. And they came in and they just felt like, okay, I truly am off in the realms where you go in peace. After you cross over, they bring such peace to your being. And then they're the ones who'd come in your heart, and then they would go straight from my heart to the stars. I could feel them going through the third eye and then up to the stars. And that was Alanu and Seraphin and Brixton and so many of them. They came in and then they would go to the stars. And then the other ones, and we'd call them, those are the star priests. And the others were the heart, or the heart star friends who were coming in. And then others that would come in and come through the heart and then just fill the whole body and really ignite the flame, the chakras in your hands and your feet. So there were differences and there were other subtle differences. But this became clear that these beings were very different. And I didn't explore it for a long time, but it soon became clear they were coming from different star systems. And we will do meditations with them and they will bring their gifts to us. Because mainly this was the Pleiades, Arcturus, and Sirius that they were coming from. Others also, but we will do a meditation in the future where they bring those gifts to you if you would like them. So this was a wonderful gift to get to meet all of these beings. And you can go on our website and you can blend, particularly go to the third wave, the healers, and you can meet Oberon, who has one of those huge hearts, and and Tovanar. who's who's just this amazing, strong being of strength, and so is Arthur, and Rosa will just cradle you and rock you to sleep. And so there you can meet all of them and practice your subtle perception with them, with your guide. So back to your guide. I'm saying this because your star friend is from a particular star. And honestly, many of us come from the Pleiades because we went there with our friends first and then came here and stayed for a long time and developed the huge heart to bring to the earth. We already had huge hearts because we're eternal natures, but the Pleiades has these incredibly big hearts of love. And many of us develop those very strongly with them. So fast forward to now. There has been a lot of knowledge that things were going to really begin to happen and open up in December, that huge waves would begin to come in of energies that would help us all awaken faster, starting in December. And on the eve of December 1st, 2025, in the night, I was given a vision. It was actually the eve, so this was November 30th. So, as always happens with me, I did not understand why this was coming now. I did not expect it, but I found myself with Michael standing on this high bridge with this huge vista in front of us. Now I'm going to ask you to just close your eyes for a moment. Michael's saying this too, please. And just go into the energies of this with us. And we saw huge processions of beings coming out of the stars. Up in front of me to the right, it was like a river of beings that were in mauve, so gentle, so so numerous, more than you could possibly count. They were coming into the realm of the earth. And then beings who were had veils around them of blue and green, and you really felt the union of the stars and the earth in their beings, and these veils were just flowing around them. And then these beings, some on horseback, were coming straight towards us with such dignity, and they had all kinds of configurations above their heads. Now, again, this is just how I imagine them. You may have imagined them differently, all these beings and communities coming from the stars. But these beings had, it's like red and yellow and dark, like brown coming out, and Michael was going to meet them. And their bodies were perfect and their energies were so pure and so loving. It brought tears to my eyes because it was nearly overwhelming. And they had a nobility about them. They had this incredible, not nobility that's off-putting in any way, that it seems superior. It was a dignity and an objectivity that showed that they were in absolute pure love and coming to humanity without any judgment. No judgment. We're just here to help you. Thousands of us, millions of us. And we're here to help our beloved friends. We're all here. And they just kept coming and coming, and they were coming in front of us, and they were just all walking along in this peace and joy and coming into the earth. And then I saw beings coming out of the cosmos, out of waters, and I saw beings coming out of the waters of the earth, and I saw beings coming out of the red rocks, which I know there are the halls of the red rocks of all of the cosmos are there. And so it was magnificent. It was a magnificent. I saw the whales upright with their mouths open and they were receiving all that was coming in, and the dolphins were jumping. It was all glorious. But it was a vision, it wasn't a dream. It was really happening. It was the events of December were going to arrive, and the waves were all going to start pouring in, and they were all here to be with their beloved friends. So, who is your friend? Your friend is there. There is no question about it. And lots of allies. You've always had lots of allies, but they're all here to help now because the energies are here to make it happen if you freely choose to. That's the other part of it. You have to freely choose to come home to the fullness of who you are and back into oneness very gradually. And that's why they're doing this one-on-one. It's easier for us. It's easier for us to do this one-on-one. So we're going to do a meditation in just a minute, but let's take a moment, close our eyes, take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, and just relax. And we'll invite them in. Invite in your guide, who's going to guide you on this journey, a guide you know and you've known for eons, who's going to help you become the fullness of you. They're already connected to their higher self, to their eternal nature, at source of being with the Godhead. They're already there. They're going to help you do it if you choose, if this resonates with you. So here they come. They're coming to your heart right now. And they're saying, will you allow me to come close to you? You do what's comfortable for you because I'm here right now. I'm right in front of you. I'm right in front of you. But I would like to come close to your heart because that is the way it will open. You are a being of pure love. They are saying this. You are a being of pure love. That's all you are in your core. And pure love heals everything. My pure love against your heart will heal everything. So they're asking you, will you go on this journey? Will you go on this journey with me? And you freely choose. What does your heart tell you? We will go on to part 2, which is the meditation with this guide when you're ready.